Welcome to another episode of Quip Corner with Ada. Actually, this is Quip Corner's Book Corner. I'll have a guest who I have had now and again. Why don't I just let you read her bio? See you in the Quip Corner. Welcome back to the Quip Corner's Book Corner, Miss Anna.
I'm glad to be here. It's always a pleasure to be able to see you, but also the fact that you invite me to come and talk about the publications that I've been working on. And this new one has special meaning because it's a collaborative process.
Okay.
And you know how much I enjoy working with others.
Yes.
So glad to be here.
Welcome. Okay. So before you tell us about the project, why a collaboration?
Collaborations help me learn. Every time I work with someone new, I learn something new. And as a teacher, in order to be up to date on what's going on, I have to stay up to date what's going on. And one of the ways of doing that is meeting with other educators, people who know something that I don't know, who are willing to share it. And inevitably, when I work with someone, what I do comes out better.
Yeah.
So it's both altruistic to do it, but it's also inquisitive, inspiring, and informative to collaborate.
Agreed, yes. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so why don't you just unwrap what you got for us, please?
Well, I have to give a backstory to this in order to unwrap for today. Number one of the things that I do to stay up to date, particularly on writing poetry, is to meet once a month online with educators across the country. Each month, one or two of the members of the group will post prompts for writing poetry.
Yeah.
And we who are in the group respond by trying that strategy and responding to at least 3 other people who posted that day. Well, one day, about a year ago, someone posted a prompt and I wrote a poem called Rainbow Reminders. And it was well received. And so I put it in my folder. I said, maybe I can do something with this. On Facebook, a friend, in fact, she's a sister of a colleague with whom I worked when I lived in California, posts regularly pictures of nature. She walks her dogs. And every day she takes her camera with her. And she was posting pictures of natural scenes, but she was also posting pictures of some of the artwork that she has been doing. She's been exploring new genres, new medium. And one day it occurred to me, let me just send her a note to see if she would be interested in using her pictures to illustrate my poem. It happened to be a good day. I sent her a note. She said, and I've always been curious about how to make an ebook. And I said, well, let's try it. She lives in California. I live here in Western Michigan. And so we met online on Zoom for the most part for about 6 months.
Ooh.
And what we did was look at my poem
to
see whether it would appeal to children. Okay. She happens to babysit her grandson. And so she read my poem to her grandson. He liked it. She said,
step one. User acceptance testing.
That's it. Step one. And I said, well, let's do it. The worst thing we can do is learn. So we did that. I sent her a copy of my poem. She sent me portfolios of her pictures, and we began to match the pictures to the poem. And then she says, I've always wanted to paint a rainbow. And so she painted a picture with a rainbow. I said, that's beautiful. let's use that for the cover.
Sure.
And so we did. In the meantime, another woman I met online in a similar setting as where I met you, Ada, has a publication company. And
Okay.
she has invited me to include some of my poems in her past publications. I said, yeah, Dr. Annette, you've just started this Jatne publishing company, Jatne.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in publishing a book of poems with pictures? And she said, that's a new genre to me, but I've worked with you before. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so she agreed to publish the book. So we sent her a copy of this beautiful cover,
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
we got a proof copy. And it
Nice.
goes across there.
Nice.
And Nancy was so excited about the book that she showed it to one of her colleagues who taught elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
She said, oh, no, you can't publish that. And Nancy says, why not? She said, it's wrong. She said, what do you mean it's wrong? My first graders know that the colors of the rainbow are Roy G. Biv.
Yes.
Orange, yellow,
Uh-huh.
green, indigo, purple. ROGBIP. Roy G. Gibb, GIB. And I said, oh my goodness, we were just looking at the color. We were not thinking about the scientific accuracy of it. So even though we had this beautiful book, and I went online and showed everybody the pictures, and no one else told us
Spotted
it
it.
was wrong. So we contacted our publisher, and she says, you know what? I had another problem with that book too. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, some of the language you used in that book may not be appropriate for younger students. I said, what do you
Mm.
mean? She said, well, you use these words helter skelter. Elementary school tools are not going to know it. I said, ask your son, your grandson. She babysits for her grandson. He's 9 years old. She showed him the book. He read the book, and she asked him, well, what about that word helter skelter? He says, no problem, means all messed up.
Oh,
She
wow.
says, my goodness. A 4-year-old liked the poem. A 9-year-old understands the poem. An elementary school teacher told us it's a beautiful book, but the cover is not right. Maybe we ought to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did. Nancy painted a new picture.
Nice.
Red, orange, yellow,
Yes.
green, indigo, violet, violet or purple.
Yeah.
And we went inside the book and did a little more adjusting. And that's how the collaboration worked. We worked
Nice.
together. I got beautiful, beautiful pictures to go with my poem, but also having a beta reader, we know that a 5-year-old would understand it and appreciate. He just heard the poem. But as he
Yes.
watched his grandma put together pictures for the book,
Mm-hmm.
he started saying, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So if there's anything I would say to listeners, if you're going to publish, have beta readers in your target audience,
For
but
sure.
also some authorities on your topic.
Definitely.
Pretty is not always good enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the backstory.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. You you know that you need to read something to us.
Okay. Well,
Hey.
do that. One of the things that we thought about after it came out is, you know, people like to have books, but they like to know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is August, the week that teachers are preparing to go back to school, but
Yes.
also the time that parents are thinking about ways that they can support the learning of their children.
Yeah.
And so we decided to come up with an activity
Mm-hmm.
booklet. And so I'll read the portions of it. I want to read the whole thing to you. I could, what the heck. The colors of the rainbow remind us that difference is a must for beauty. All of any one color is boring, even if the color is yellow. The colors of the rainbow remind us of beauty. The colors of the rainbow remind us of our Creator. Scripture tells us He promises never to send more than we can bear. There will be others to share with us in our ups and our downs.
Aww.
Swimming with us through our smiles and our frowns. Thinking of the rainbow, you will see what I mean. The reds are for love, the purples for passion, the blues for peace, the yellows are mellow, not just boring. And the greens convene all around us for food, clothing, and shelter.
Beautiful.
See the curvy ancient tree and the children playing with glee? Our blessings, they will never cease. So when our feelings are running helter-skelter,
that word?
you see some of her
Yes.
abstract artwork? Remember, the colors of the rainbow are bold. The spectrum shows us the breadth, the depths shows, the size shows us the depth. And at the base, we are told there may even be a pot of gold. You may be that pot of gold for our friends here and there. So today, let's write a note. Let someone know that we care. And as usual, please keep on reading and you'll see what we have to share. And then I have an assignment.
Nice.
Or ask the readers to write a note to someone to tell them that they're thinking of them or caring about them, and to decorate it in rainbow colors.
Nice.
And because I also taught high school, and I had the students writing letters, they were going to college, they didn't know how to address an envelope. And so I have a page on how to address an envelope. And that's pretty much the book. And the artist friend is Nancy White. That's me.
Beautiful, beautiful. This is so, so beautiful. And, you know, the fact that, yes, children are getting ready to go back to school, but this is a book that you can use at any time of the year. It's beautiful.
And we were thinking of that. And, you know, the other audience that we thought about, many people have family or friends that they visit in senior citizen homes. In fact, one of the colleagues that I taught with in California, when retired, he and his wife moved to a senior citizens community, and the people meet regularly. And he was responsible for planning some activity once a month.
Yeah.
Every year he came to my workshops. How do you teach poetry now, Anna? And he would go back and do it with his senior citizens.
Nice.
And so we said, 4-year-olds, 9-year-olds. I taught middle school and early high school most of my 40 years in the classroom, but also senior citizens. And so we came up with an activity book.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And we said, you know, some parents want to work with their children at home, but they don't want something that has to be graded. So we came up with assignments like, suppose you have a kindergartner who's just learning to recognize letters.
Yeah.
They know how to spell their name. So have them look through rainbow reminders and find other words that begin with the same letter as their name.
Nice.
Suppose they have a middle schooler whose teacher is saying, you know, I want some reader responses from you. That means to tell me what you think and support it with at least 3 pieces of evidence from the book or the film or whatever it is we've been studying. So have it go back to the book, Find a picture that you like, write a sentence that tells me why you like it, why
Yeah,
it moves you, why it inspires it, but give me 3 reasons why.
beautiful. Wow.
You've got a high school student. They're learning to write short stories.
Hmm?
And a short story is a piece of literature about a character who is trying to solve a problem. So we ask you, go to this book, find a picture with characters,
Yes. Yeah.
choose one of the characters who
That's
has a
beautiful.
problem to solve.
Yeah.
Again, 3. Usually, you solve a problem, you try to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work. A friend comes along to help you. Then sometimes you have to make an ethical decision. Is
Yeah.
this legal or illegal, right
Yeah.
or wrong, safe or dangerous? Would my
Yeah.
parents approve? And for some of us, would my faith, would my God approve of this? And so for the seniors, go back to the book, find a character, write a story. And so they're also, I call it stream, science,
Yeah.
technology, religion, English, ecology, art, advertising, music, and math. One of the assignments in the book asked them to find music
Mm.
that could be played while the pictures in the book are scrolling through.
Oh, wow.
And talking about collaboration. Or take my poem and find new pictures. Make a slide presentation where you illustrate my poem, but do it in a group.
Yes. Oh,
You and a
wow.
partner. And so that's what the handbook, the activity book, is
Yes.
going to be doing. And so
Nice.
that's what I've been doing since we've been on this.
Wow. This is beautiful. 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 Well done. Thank you. And I like the fact that just like the rainbow is a spectrum of colors, the book
Mm-hmm.
meets a spectrum of ages, and
Mm-hmm.
people listening will be like, okay, you mean this is something we can even do over Christmas together as a family? How
Mm-hmm.
can I get that book?
You mentioned about overtime. One of my friends who teaches in Hawaii is getting the book for her 5th and 6th graders. And they're going to have Rainbow Fridays. So
Nice.
each Friday, they'll pull out the book and they'll do one of the assignments based on the lessons they have done that week. And another friend is using it in her Spanish classes. She says she can use the book and have them pull out the rainbow book, turn to a page, and use the language that they're learning that week.
Nice.
The first thing you learn are nouns, verbs, and adjectives.
Yeah.
So find pictures in there. So that idea spectrum, I like that word. I'm going
Yeah.
to add that to my spiel.
You're welcome. But you still haven't told us how we can get copies.
You can get copies of the book. First, you can get it on Amazon.
Okay.
And I know, Ada, that you have listeners and viewers from all over the world.
Yes.
Most of you can get it on Amazon. Some, however, if you live on the continent of Africa, depends on what country, you may or may not be able to get Amazon, but you can get me. You can contact me on Facebook or by email, ajroseboro@comcast.net or gmail.com.
Okay.
We can get the book to you. And within another 2 weeks, the activity book will be available as well. There'll be 2 separate purchases unless you buy a bundle of 10. If you buy
Okay.
a bundle of 10, the activity book will be no extra charge.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay, so we'll add that information below so people, know how to reach out and get their copies.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Nice. Well, thank you again. Thank you for
So,
joining me and sharing. It is beautiful. It's really, really
thank
pretty.
you for
Thank you.
having me share Rainbow Reminders and remind you God created this, He
Yeah.
created you, and He introduced me to this lovely lady. Thank you.
Thank you. You're so kind. Thank you so much for joining me again. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, what do you think? That's quite an exciting book. You know, when you think about the colors of the rainbow and what each color depicts and how together they mean something. Yes. Like Miss Anna said, we must never forget the promise behind the rainbow. And that's a promise that we can hold on to and God has continued to fulfill. Well, that's a book that you need for whenever, especially if you have family gatherings. So you'll see information on how to get your copies, and it'll be nice to read your comments below this video. Take care. Bye now.